Hi guys, we're going to unbox the ASUS G751JY-DH71. So it comes in a normal retail boxing. On the back here, you're going to see it's just a security seal, which I've already broken. So you just pop that open, push down the handle, and open it up. So kind of ASUS's theme there, in search of incredibles, what you're going to see right away. We've got a laptop right here. It's going to be in a protective bag. So we'll get that out of the way. We'll come back to this at the end. Right in the middle here, there's going to be a compartment. Lift that up. You're going to get your basic accessories. So cleaning cloth, quick installation guide, warranty information, and then cable tie. Off to the right, got another compartment here where you can open that up. You're going to get your power cable. This is going to go from the AC adapter to the wall. And then you have the AC adapter, which of course plugs into your computer. I'll get into the computer. We'll just remove it from the protective bag that it comes in. So this is a 17.3 inch. It is their new gaming computer. Go ahead, open this up. Yep, and there's the protective sleeve there. Nothing like a microfiber cleaning cloth, but there is actually one included with those accessories. So you got that here, a 17.3 inch computer. Hi everyone, thanks for checking out XOTIC PC's video review of the ASUS G751JY-DH71. Let's go over the specs. We have a 17.3 inch matte type screen. It is 1920 by 1080 resolution. For the CPU, we have an Intel 4710, which works at 2.5 to 3.5 gigahertz. For the GPUs, the NVIDIA GTX 980M, and this is the 4 gigabyte version of GDDR5. For system RAM, it comes with 24 gigabytes installed. It does support up to 32 gigabytes. Have two 128 M.2 drives, and they are going to be in RAID. You also get a 1 terabyte 7200 RPM hard disk drive on there. For your optical drive, it's a Blu-ray writer, and it also can read and write DVDs and CDs. Windows 8.1 is pre-installed. And for the warranty, you get a 1-year global OEM warranty, plus 1 year North American accidental damage protection. Be sure you register that to get it. For dimensions, we're at 16.4 inches wide, 12.5 inches deep. And then for the height, at the front, 0.9 all the way to 1.7 inches thick at its rear. Weight, 8.4 pounds, and that is including the 8-cell battery. Just look at the materials on the back of it real quick, the C surface here. You'll see this is going to be one of the newer designs that they have. The back here in the middle is going to be a brushed metal. That's right in the middle and going down towards the base. You can also see the exhaust there. The whole back is not brushed metal though, just that middle part. You'll see the ASUS logo, and underneath that is the Republic of Gamers logo. Now that does light up. I'll turn off the lights real quick so you can see that. And there you can see the logo. All right, let's take a look at the screen viewing angles. I have our colorful gradient up. And just as a reminder, this is a 1920 by 1080 matte type screen. I'll spin it off to the right. We'll see what type of washing out we get here. I'll keep an eye on it in person as well, and on the camcorder screen, and let you know if there's any difference from what I'm seeing, what the camera's picking up. Pretty much the same in person and on camera. Spin it off to the right, see if we notice any color washing out. No, so going left and right, we got very good viewing angles there. Let's go ahead and pull this down towards us. And holding on to those viewing angles really nicely there. Not really seeing anything wash out. That's pulling forward. Let's go ahead and push it back. See if we notice any type of washout. And that's as far as it goes back. So it doesn't angle back very far. Let me turn that a little bit so you can see. And that is as far back as it'll lean back. But for color and viewing angles, that looked really nice. Well, let's take a look at the keyboard. It is backlit and it will turn itself off if you haven't been using it. As you can see, it's off right now. I'll just move my hand over it, press a couple keys, and you see it light up that way. So just to go over the keyboard itself, it is a chiclet style keyboard. Capacitor 10 key over here is normal with a 17.3 inch computer. You have your touchpad right here. It is pretty much flush with the rest of the computer. And then you have two raised left and right mouse click keys there. Off to the top left, you're going to see some keys as well. This is a built-in, it'll record your gaming, kind of like Fraps. If you hit that button, it'll start the app up. And it's a one click to record. You can launch the app. And it's called Shadow Play is the name of it. It's not installed right now, but at least there's no compatible games with it, so it's not going to go. But one touch key. It also has a built-in Steam button, so if you manage a lot of your games through Steam, it's right there. And then you have a macro keys, 1, 2, and 3, and those are assignable. So you got the backlighting. You also see the gaming keys, WASD keys, have that extra lighting on them, so you can see them a little bit easier in the dark. And the W key has a little button on it, if you will, so you can feel it, just like the F and J keys. So you can feel where you're supposed to go with that. There's a little button right on the W key, so you can feel where that is without having to look down at the keyboard. For flex, let's zoom in a little bit. And I'll give it some good presses here. Very solid keyboard. You can see there's not much flex at all on there, and that's me pressing down hard on it, trying to get it to flex. On regular typing, should be no issue at all. Let's take a look at the ports around the computer. Starting on the back left-hand side, we're going to see the Kensington security lock there, followed by two USB 3.0 ports. There's a Blu-ray optical drive, again, that does Blu-ray read and write, along with DVD and CD read and write. Got your memory card reader there for your secure digital and your multimedia card. Spin it off to the right. You can see the status indicator lights. I'll go over those where we can see them a little bit better after we're done looking over the rest of it. Spin it off to the right here. Got your audio ports leading off. So there it is. Trying to get our focus here. All right, so starting off on the left-hand side, there's your headphone. Also, if you want to use SPDIF, that's the one to go with. We got our microphone and then line in. Two more USB 3.0 ports. There's a mini display port as well as Thunderbolt port, HDMI out, Ethernet, VGA, and your AC adapter power plug. On the left-hand side, that's your exhaust port. And then it has a matching exhaust port on the other side of it there. And we just finish this off on the left-hand side where we started off. Well, here's a better look at the status indicator lights that we were talking about. First one is just going to be your power indicator. So if the computer's on, that is going to be lit up. So you'll see there's a light on top and also the front. The second one lets you know if your battery, or excuse me, if your power is plugged in. So the AC adapter is not plugged in right now, so that's turned off. Next one is your hard drive activity light. So anytime there's read-write, that's going to blink at you. We have airplane mode after that. That basically lets you know that your Wi-Fi is turned off. And then your number lock indicator. So your 10 key off to the right of the keyboard. If that is lit on, then the numbers are on. We're going to take a look into the BIOS to see what's available to us. The computer is completely off. I'll go ahead and turn it on, and then I'll start pressing F2 continually as soon as I hit that power button. So power and then F2. All right, that got us into the BIOS. So we'll just do a quick overview of what's in here. On the main page here, it just gives you basic information. Really, the only thing that you can change is your system date and system time. Going over to the advanced, we have our Start Easy Flash, internal pointing device, enable or disable, wake on lid open, enable or disable, power off energy saving, enable or disable. Following are also enable or disable, so we got our Intel virtualization technology, Intel AES-NI, and VTD. Got our PCI Express SSD information. SATA configuration. USB configuration. Got our Thunderbolt. And network stack. Our boot order here. So we got our fast boot, launch CSM, our boot priorities. We can add a new boot option or delete a boot option. We'll go over to the security where you can set the menu, or excuse me, set the password. Set a master password. Got your I/O interface security. Basically your I/O, your integrated ports here. So your LAN, wireless, audio, your SATA ports. Secure boot menu, and lastly, save and exit. So we'll go ahead and enter that. Say configuration and exit. We don't want to do that actually, so we'll save configuration, exit, no. But we do want to exit, so quit without saving. And then it'll just get you right back into the boot. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the boot times here. Again, this is two 128 gigabyte MSATA drives in RAID 0. So the computer's completely off. The phone is set at 0. I'm going to hit start and power at the same time. And I'll do my best to stop it once we get to the desktop. So we'll go 3, 2, 1, start. So under 8 seconds, 7.8 seconds. That may be one of the best times that we've seen out of any computer, whether it be an ASUS or any other brand out there, and regardless of the hard drive configuration. 7.8 seconds, extremely fast from a cold boot. Okay, we ran Crystal Disk just to check the speed of the M.2 drives here. As you can see, they're really fast for 2 drives, even in RAID 0. Your read time is 1,050 megabytes per second, so just over a gigabyte per second. And your write time, 835.8 megabytes per second. And that has a lot to do with why we saw the boot times so quick on there. As you can see all the rest of the numbers there, instead of me going over them all, you can take a look, which you probably already have while I was talking. So just to sum it up, very, very fast read-write times from 2 drives. All right, let's start looking at some performance. We're going to start off with 3D Mark Fire Strike. Going to get that going. As you can see, our decibel meter is set off to the back, so you can get an idea of how much louder the fans get when they're under load. I'll put the microphone in my hand back there so you can hear the fans as well. And we, of course, will be overlaying our thermal pictures from our FLIR gun over so you can really see where those temperatures are being generated on there. right, 3D Mark Fire Strike's all done. We can take a look at the scores here. You're seeing an overall score, 8,481. Graphics score just went over 10,000, so 10,051. Physics score, 9,162, and a combined score of 3,716. Again, this is the GTX 980M 4GB version. Let's take a look at the CPU temps through hardware monitor here. So we're seeing lower 70s, so 71, 72, very good temperatures, especially under load. And then GPU temperature 67 Celsius for the 980M. Now that's very, very good. So upper 60s, even lower 70s is really nice, but to see it not even break 70 is really good. Just for verification here, we do also see 67 on MSI Afterburner. So there's our results with 3D Mark Fire Strike. The fans also very, very quiet on it. We'll go ahead and run a couple more benchmarks and go over those numbers. Okay, our second benchmark is 3D Mark Skydiver. So you can see the score here, 21,898. Graphics score, 31,761. Physics score, 8,929, with a combined score of 19,038. Let's take a look at a hardware monitor, take a look at where the CPU was. So upper 70s on this benchmark, a little higher than 3D Mark Fire Strike. Let's take a look at where the GPU was. Let's see here. There we go, 76, and that is for the GTX 980. So 76 Celsius, also a little bit more than 3D Mark Fire Strike. We'll just verify that real quick with Afterburner, and as you can see, it is showing us the same information. So we'll go ahead and take a look at 3D Mark 11 and see the type of results we get from there. Okay, the last benchmark that we're taking a look at is 3D Mark 11, which is all done here. You're seeing a score, 11,085. Graphics score, 13,117. Physics score, 7,898. And a combined score, 7,124. Let's take a look at the CPU temps. So we're at middle 70s this time, 75 to 76. Scroll down a little bit and find the GPU. We're seeing it right here, the 980 got to 71 Celsius. Very low temperatures. Let's just verify that real quick. Yep, we're seeing the same on MSI Afterburner. So good results, good numbers, quiet computer, and very respectable low temperatures on there. We're going to take a look at the internals from the top of the computer. Now I've gone ahead and done the work necessary to get to this point. Once you do, this part actually will lift away. There are 4 cables that need to be disconnected underneath before you can move it. Once you've undone those cables, you can go ahead and slide this out. Let's see here. Of course, being careful not to damage anything. Slide that out and move it away, and you can get to the internals. So I'm just going to show you the bottom of this here. So here's your 1, 2, 3, 4 cables that need to be disconnected on there, and their respective ports 1, 2, 3, and 4. But once you've done that and done everything else to get to this point, you're going to see the top. They've made it so it's not very accessible, and you really don't need to get to this part for anything. All you're going to see is there's two RAM modules though there, and they are going to be the ones that are always pre-installed. So you're not going to have to worry about upgrading to these 2 connections. We got the CPU fan on this side here. The CPU is underneath here. It's soldered onto the motherboard. And then the GPU is here underneath of the motherboard, but also soldered on. Then we have the GPU fan off to the right-hand side. This big open bay here is where the optical bay goes. That has been removed. We got your Wi-Fi card right here. And that's really all the access that you have from the top. The battery is back here. This back area has been removed, but there's where the battery is located. It might extend down and underneath the motherboard a little bit more. We can't really see that, but we can see that is the general location of it. So that will cover at least the internals from the top of the computer. can take a look at the internals of the computer from the bottom access. They've made it very easy to get to some commonly upgraded parts. There's a black tab here. It's tucked away in there. You can lift this up and away, and then there's a screw, just one screw that you need to undo. Once you've done that, you can kind of use this even as a lift tab. Don't pull on it too much to break, but it will get you enough so you can, there we go, pop that away and move that off to the side. So what you're going to see here, there's 2 RAM slots that you can access from the bottom. The other 2 are on the other side. You got your standard hard disk drive bay right in the middle there that has that 1 terabyte in there. And then here's one of your PCI Express M.2 drives. So there's one here, and we're thinking there's another one on the other side internally. When we flipped it over and looked on the other side, we couldn't see it. It is going to take a full teardown of the computer to get to that. So it's not going to be very easy to upgrade that. That's even if you can find a part that's going to work on it. A lot of times ASUS will use proprietary drives there, so it might not even be possible to upgrade those. But one here and one there. And that's really all that you can access from the bottom. All right, well, thank you again for taking your time to check out our video review of the new ASUS G751. Hope you got some good information from it. If you still have any questions, get a hold of us. Our phone number is 1-877-289-9684. You can email sales@exoticpc.com. Reach us in our live chat. We're available from 9 to 5:30 Central Time, Monday through Friday. And of course, visit our website. It's www.xoticpc.com. Make sure you give it a like if you did like the video. Subscribe to keep up with our latest videos that we do. And of course, leave any comments below with any questions that you have or any suggestions are always welcome. Thank you so much.